Hey everybody, this is Qualzy here, and I am excited as hell because finally we are getting Deathwing. Deathwing is finally here in the PTR, a new hero from Heroes of the Storm. Deathwing, known as the Cataclysm, the World Breaker from World of Warcraft. And it's been a while, he's been announced before BlizzCon. Finally, after a month, he's finally in the PTR, which means that we'll be getting him next week live. So I have so many questions about him because of his traits. He's unstoppable. He cannot be affected by stuns. He cannot be affected by the allied team's heals and buffs. So his world flying, his mount when he's flying across. How does that look? I have so many questions. So I can't wait to get started with this. So we're gonna check out Deathwing and see how he is. The ults, the fire, like so much. And then that plate, his health has like energy with plate on his health with armor. So we're gonna see how he is. Nice. Look at that beautiful art. Beautiful. You got Diablo, Raynor, Orphea, and they look like ants. Even Diablo, he's the biggest demon, and he looks like a tiny creature compared to this thing. Oh yeah. Personally with a hero like this, I don't think you need him to be taking the Dragon Knight from the Dragon Shrine map, because he's better off just doing all the damage being outside the Dragon Knight. And for those of you who have a BlizzCon ticket or a virtual ticket, get Deathwing for free automatically when he gets released. And on top of that, the new patch notes has arrived, so I'm going to put that in the description down below. A link to the patch notes. You should take a look at it. There's going to be a new Christmas toy event from like December 16th till February 3rd, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So the Scarlet Heist is almost over, so start looting up your Halloween loot chests, because then we're going to move on to the Christmas loot chests. So that means that means the teddy bear Stitches is coming back, Valera and Dehaka. All those nice Christmas kids and Christmas mounts coming back. Once this loads, then we can take a look at Deathwing. There we go. Let's load this up. The Destroyer. I don't know what I got. Oh yeah. Let's take a look at the Destroyer. Deathwing. Okay, so he's got two different forms, Destroyer form and World Breaker form. So I want to know how do you switch them both? Or do you only pick one form for the hero? So you got World Destroyer form, and you got World Breaker form. Slight difference, let me see. Trying to see what the difference is in appearance. Metal armor, this stuff, and then you switch them, and it's like these the same. It's the same, but the only thing that changes is two abilities. Only W and E changes. It's between Destroyer form and World Breaker form. So we're going to take a look at all of them. Okay, so his trait, Aspect of Death, cooldown is 20 seconds. Deathwing is fitted with 0 armor plates, which grant 10 armor each. Each 25% health loss causes Deathwing to lose a plate. Plates are only restored when Dragonflight is used. based on the amount of health Deathwing has when landing. Deathwing is also a mighty dragon aspect that's permanently unstoppable and deals 100% additional spell damage to heroes. So I guess if anyone's gonna tank with him, you're gonna build heavy spell armor like Stitches or a new Barak. Then not Garrosh. Garrosh doesn't really have a spell armor. Has a talent for spell armor, but it's not gonna help so much. But views his allies with contempt and ignores any of their friendly effects. So he cannot be healed or buffed. He's like a walking solo Cho'Gall. Dragon Flight. Cooldown is 45 seconds. After 3 seconds, flying to the sky, becoming immune to all effects and gaining 2.5% health per second. One cast. This ability cannot be interrupted. Holy crap, so that's his escape. It cannot be interrupted. Wow. So if you're gonna melt him, you are melt him fast before he flies. Cannot be cast for 4 seconds after taking damage. Is attacking or casting an ability. So if you're gonna cast it, it says Deathwing, you better do it now, because if you start to take damage or excuse me, if you start to take damage or cast an ability, then you have to wait 4 more seconds. So under Destroyer form and Worldbreaker form, they both have the same Q. The ults are the same too. So the Q, Molten Flame, 10-second energy, so he uses energy, not mana. Cooldown is 3 seconds, very short. After 1.5 seconds, Deathwing breathes a storm of flame, dealing 21 damage every 0.125 seconds, drains 30 energy per second. So you can blow fire as much as you like, just using what energy you have. W, under Destroyer form, Incinerate, 15 energy, cooldown is 4 seconds. After 0.75 seconds, Deathwing flaps his wings, dealing 85 damage to nearby enemies. So he uses his wings to do damage. And then his E. Onslaught. Energy is 20, cooldown is 5 seconds. After 0.5 seconds, Deathwing lunges to a direction, dealing 42 damage to enemies and slowing them by 35% for 2 seconds. Deathwing bites enemies at the end of the lunge, dealing an additional 80 damage. Okay, it's a nice slowdown. You could really do some heavy damage with that. And then under Worldbreaker form, we have Lava Burst, 20 energy, 6-second cooldown. After 1 second delay, deal 30 damage to all enemies in an area and create a pool of magma that deals 16 damage per second and slows enemies by 35%. And it lasts 6 seconds. A damaging lava that slows them down. Usually lava's bad enough that it just hurts you. This one also slows you down. E, Earth Shatter, 25 energy, 12-second cooldown. It's a long cooldown. Create a fissure of earth that deals 80 damage to enemies hit and stuns them for 0.75 seconds. It's kind of almost like Thrall's Earth Shattering, but rather than splitting them apart, it would only just hit them to do damage and stun them. And the heroic is the same for no matter what form you are at. It's Cataclysm, 90-second cooldown. After 2 seconds, Deathwing flies in the targeted direction, dealing 90 damage on impact and leaving scorched ground that deals 48 damage a second. And it lasts 6 seconds. That is a scorched area. Like if you're caught catching people on a choke point, that would be perfect to cast the Cataclysm. And let's see his skins. So we got regular. Just note the difference that no matter what form you are on, the appearance in him just looks exactly the same. There's no difference. So we got Deathwing Destroyer. We have this lime green Godzilla-looking dragon that looks pretty cool. It'd be nice if this was green fire to match up, but overall it looks really nice. This color green. This white one looks pretty unique. Looks a little more demonic from those wings. Kind of remind me of the death of the Dreadlord wings. This looks more like a heroic skin, I'm guessing, because it's Iron Deathwing. Because you got regular and you got Iron, so this looks pretty cool. You got Glorious Deathwing, so this looks pretty sick. Looks like something I would buy as a trophy, like a statue of Deathwing. This looks really nice. Then you got this purple. It's like the Barney skin. I'm gonna call it the Barney skin. Tyrannical Deathwing. It's Barney. It's basically Barney. Like the green and the purple shading between the two just like really pops out. Alright, let's take a look. We got his abilities here. Let's look at his talents because here switch because obviously his talents will affect Destroyer or Worldbreaker form. So we got W for the under Destroyer. Incinerate heals Deathwings for 75% of the damage. Delta enemy heroes. That's good. Under Worldbreaker Lava Burst. Explosion damage heals Deathwing for under 50% of the damage. Delta heroes. Okay, so this is obviously making your W heal Destroyer or Worldbreaker. Your trait, Molten Blood. While Deathwing has 3 or more armor plates, he heals for 0.4% of his maximum health per second. That's pretty good if you want a little sustain. But you have to maintain your armor plates. So it's not good if you're fighting against Tychus or someone who pokes you. So keeping your armor plates low. So you have to have at least 3. I assume the bar is 5. Tricanic Might. Deathwing's basic attacks against enemy heroes, healing for 0.40% damage dealt. Upon losing an armor plate, Deathwing becomes protected for 0.75 seconds. Okay, that's not bad. I'm more of an aggressive type. I would go with the W. Make your W heal, no matter what form you're at. Q. Furnace, while Molten Flame is cast at 75% energy or higher, its damage is increased by 75% against heroes. That's really good if you have like Zarya's Gravitational Surge or Gazlo's Gravitational Pull, like anything that could keep everyone together and then just blast them off with fire. Here we got W here. Heat Wave. Under Destroyer, after hitting an enemy hero with Incinerate, Deathwing deals 16 damage per second to all enemies. Enemies for the next 8 seconds, stacks up to 4 times. Not bad. Under Worldbreaker, increase the explosion damage of lava burst by 125%. That's good if you're good with skill shot, blending with lava. Something for your trait. While Deathwing has 3 or fewer armor plates, his damage is increased by 30%. That ties in pretty well with this heal, because you'll be able to do more damage, and this one counters this one, because if you have more armor plates you heal, if you have less armor plates then you'll do more damage. So if you need more damage and you have your armor plates, you're not going to do that much damage. Excuse me. And if you need to live, you're only going to do damage, but you're not going to be able to heal. I'll go with either one of these two. I think I'll go with this one. Just because in certain choke points you'll be able to blow your flame at them and do more damage. Level 7. This is for the flight form. Here's the Firestorm. When Deathwing lands, he drops 7 meteors near the landing area, dealing 65 damage to enemies hit. Heroes hit by the meteors reduce Dragonflight's cooldown by 12 seconds. That's really good. Meteors prioritize landing on heroes, otherwise they fall randomly in the area. That's really good, especially if you're landing in a team fight with your team. They'll be able to do damage, lower the cooldown of your Dragonflight as you land. Death Drop. Hitting an enemy hero with Destroyer or Worldbreaker, landing damage reduces their spell armor by 15 for 6 seconds, and Deathwing's basic abilities cooldowns by 2 seconds. That is really powerful, especially since he's all about spell damage. Lowering their spell armor would make them take even more damage, and it ties into your W here doing more damage, healing you, and this one doing damage, or this one doing more damage too. This is for your E. Skyfall. Charges cool. 10-second cooldown. After using Dragonflight, Deathwing can drop meteors anywhere with vision, dealing 58 damage to enemies in the area. Has 3 charges. If a hero is hit, Deathwing heals for 5% of his maximum health and reduces his landing cooldowns by 1.5 seconds. That's pretty bomb. Drop meteors and land sooner. So you land quicker and you drop meteors. So so in here we have so he starts with Cataclysm by default, so that's his ult. He could upgrade his ult, burn beneath my shadow. When enemy forts or keep is destroyed, the cooldown of Cataclysm is reset. Cataclysm periodic damage is increased by 150%. That's pretty good. I mean, because because the cooldown of your Cataclysm is already 90 seconds, so you can automatically reset it and do more damage. Or there's an active ability that you can get, Bellowing Roar. Cooldown is a minute. After 1 second, Deathwing unleashes a mighty roar, dealing 25 damage to nearby heroes and causing them to run in fear for 2 seconds. So it's like a cooldown's horrify, but it deals some damage too. That's good for crowd control, especially if you want to distract Tracer, Genji, Varian, when you want to like bypass somebody. This is pretty helpful. Otherwise, if you're going to lane a lot, this would work. Level 13, pretty cute. Wicked Inferno. Molten Flame's energy cost per second is reduced by 10, so it's cheaper. After using Molten Flame, Deathwing gains 15 energy over 3 seconds. That's not bad if you're using your Q a lot, especially tied into this. Because if it costs less energy, that means you're able to use the fire longer. And because you use the fire longer, you're going to be doing a lot more damage too. Because this flame cast does more damage if it's 75% higher energy. And then you gain some energy after that. Alright, for your E, Ruination. Destroyer, the bite from Onslaught now slows by 60% for 1.5 seconds. That's pretty good, because it would normally slow you by 35%, now it would be 60%, so that's pretty strong. World Breaker, reduce Earth Shatter's cooldown by 6 seconds and its energy cost by 10. That's pretty good. Reduce the cost of your... That's pretty good. Reduce the cost by 6 seconds, so it's going to be 6. And what else did it say? And reduce its energy by 10. That's pretty good, because this costs 25 energy, it'll be 15 now. So that's pretty good. Fire and Fury. Basic attacks against rooted, slowed, or stunned enemies deal 30% additional damage. And reduce the cooldowns of Deathwing's basic abilities by half second. That's not bad. That's only if you're doing a lot of basic attacks. I mean, you may or may not be doing that much basic attacks. If it's all bruisers and tanks, yeah. But if there's someone that are fast, you can't reach them, then maybe not this one. I would go with either one of these two. Most likely this one. But since I like to be aggressive, then I would go with this one, just to do more damage, basic attacking, and my cooldowns would charge quicker. Level 16 Q, Molten Flame Conflagration, dealing 320 damage by Molten Flame to enemy heroes within 4 seconds, causing them to burn for an additional 100 damage over 4 seconds. While burning, they explode every 1 second, dealing 8 damage to all nearby enemies. Now that is powerful. We could try a Q build here with this one, see how it goes. There's one for the flying. Hitting heroes with Destroyer or World Breaker landing causes their damage to be reduced by 75% and slows them for 40% for 5 seconds. That is pretty strong, because especially if you're flying a lot and you're gonna land on team fights, reduce their damage. Especially if there's a lot of ADCs, reduce their damage and you slow them down. That's good against Butcher, Variant, Twin Blade Variant, Genji. That's pretty good. And active ability, Elementium Plating. Cooldown is 60 seconds. Activate to gain a shield equal to 35% of Deathwing's missing health for 8 seconds. While the shield holds, Deathwing regenerates 2% of his maximum health per second. When the shield expires or is destroyed, Deathwing regains armor plates appropriate to his new health. Shoot, you can gain your plates back, and you're not even flying. The shield and effect are end immediately if Deathwing uses Dragon Flight. Okay, so this is basically like Dragonflight on the ground, but there's a 60-second cooldown. So that's good if you're being camped out. If you're being camped out like crazy. So this is good if you need that extra armor and that extra health. Other than that, I would go with either this or this one. I'm going to try the flying else, so I'm going to go with this one. Level 20 is the big one, so we got something for Cataclysm. So it's like a third one to add to this Cataclysm. Stood in the fire. Enemy heroes are slowed by 40% while standing in scorched ground, and its duration is increased by 50%. That's pretty strong because already it deals damage. It lasts 6 seconds on the ground, dealing damage. So if you get this, you can do more damage, and you can reset it after destroying a fort, and even further, you can slow your enemies and increase the scorching ground by 50%. That's pretty good. I mean, that makes a real cataclysm. We got something for Z. Destroyer Warbreaker's landing damage is increased by 400%. Arrival of a god. That's pretty good. I mean, you tie that with this one, with this landing, and you can really do some serious damage. They sure have a lot of landing abilities here. Deathwing also gains the benefits of all his level 7 talents. Damn, that is strong because you're getting all of this at level 7. Reducing the cooldown, dealing more damage, reducing their spell armor, and dropping meteors. That's pretty strong. We're gonna test them all out and see how this goes. And then you got Destroyer's Rampage, a trait. For the next 6 seconds after landing in Destroyer form, it has to be Destroyer form, Deathwing's damage is increased by 40%. Its basic ability cooldowns recharge 50% faster. Damaging heroes refreshes this effect, and switching to Worldbreaker form removes the effect. So you have to do it in Destroyer form. So it's called Destroyer's Rampage. And let's see how he is. One way to find out, we're going to try him out. We're going to do this slowly and see how do you switch the forms, and then how's it look when you're flying, and the landing, the plate, the energy. We're going to see how everything goes. You can tell this is Dragonshire, and I guess he's the new Dragon Knight. That'd be pretty scary. Someone takes the Dragon Knight, and then you have Deathwing coming too. It's like 2 dragons just coming at you. So how do you fight that? Holy crap. For a big dragon, he has a small circle. So there's not a lot to get. There's not a lot how to get him. Look at all the space he's taking. Jesus Christ. This is a hell of a dragon. Okay. Okay, so in here is where you switch. There's a 20-second cooldown to switch from Destroyer form to Worldbreaker form. So this is the fire. Damn, that is strong. Okay. Damn. Yeah, let's switch it back to Destroyer form. That's the AoE damage, and this is the lunge. Okay, the ult's on the cooldown. So let's try Dragonflight. Let's see how that looks. Oh, you can't even see yourself. Look, there's just fire on the frame. Yeah, I can't even see myself. Holy crap, it looks cool. It shows that you're an elite. The portrait, that you're an elite. How do I land? How do I land? Once cast, this ability cannot be interrupted, cannot be cast for 4 seconds after taking damage. How do you land in here? There's no... Did I just use an ability? Like this one? Oh, Worldbreaker landing. Oh, so when you activate an ability, that's how you land. Oh, look at that damage. Reducing my armor. Damn. I want to stay away from the forts. Forts hit you harder. There's a 20-second cooldown when you're switching to different forms, so you have to be careful what form you switch with. Next, look at the Moonwell, so that helps. Test out the abilities. Let's see. So test out this one. We'll do the Q build first, just to make it easier. We have to reduce the cooldown so we can see Cataclysm, because I don't know why Cataclysm's at a 200-second cooldown, so we're gonna test it out to see how it is. Reset the timelines. Alright, let's see how cooldowns are. Let's see how. Wow, that is a big Cataclysm. Look how much ground it takes. There's. Damn, that burns. Oops, I forgot to stop it. You have to stop it yourself. There's no interrupting it, and there's no interrupting it, and there's no stopping it. So you have to stop it yourself. I could do this all day. Literally, I could do this all day. How am I doing this again? When multi-flame is cast at 75% energy or higher, sound increased by 20%. Let me try it one more time. So I think I might have just like toggled the cooldown to affect this. Okay, that makes sense. See, but I still have to stop it, or else I just run out of energy. Enemy fort, keep it destroyed. Here's the damage of it. Let's see how much damage there is. So I reduce the R by 10 seconds after using multiplying Deathwing against. We'll see how this one is first. So first we'll do Q build. See how that goes. Toggle minions. Gotta do. This one looks more fun. This one has more poke. The destroyer form. Burn everything. Okay, now I'm in here. So, oh damn it! I can't cast form. I can't fly yet. Okay, so I have half a health. So I'm gonna fly, and then I see my health regenerating. Once cast, this ability cannot be interrupted. So by interrupted, they mean you cannot interrupt it, but it can be stopped. Because you cannot cast it for 4 seconds after you take damage, basic attacking, or casting an ability. So now that I regain my health, now I can enter. Oh, I see. You enter either a destroyer form or a world breaker form. Okay, I already have the meteors. I land dealing damage to them. Okay, so let's do this world breaker form. There we go. And then there's the meteors. Okay, so you can land in the form you want. You could definitely fight him if you're you can fight him only if you're fast enough to avoid his abilities, because all his abilities they require at least a second of casting time, not half a second or a quarter second. After 1.5 seconds, 1 second. After 0.75 seconds, after half a second. I mean, he's pretty large, so you have to try to avoid him. And I cannot be healed if I'm Malfurion. That range. That range. And that damage. I just reduced the cooldown already. Alright, so let's try the landing build, because there sure is a lot of things requiring flight of landing, so let's see it. Flight, heal. Let's go like this one. This one. Let's try Death Drop. We'll try Bellowing Roar to see how it is. I can't be interrupted. Unstoppable. So the max is 40 armor, and then every plate scale you lose 10 armor, which makes you even weaker. So you'll take more damage in due time. All right, let's see the flight. Reduce the spell armor. Does take a lot more damage, actually, because his spell armor was down. What else? Lower the cooldown. Yeah, lower the cooldown. Let's try this one for a second, and then we'll try this one. Even while I'm being attacked, I could still use that ability. Then I could fear him. Now to cast my scales. Protected. And we'll take flight. And heal up. For next 6 seconds after landing in destroyer form, which would be this one. Damage is increased by 40%, and his basic attack. Basic cooldowns recharge 50% faster. Damaging heroes this effect, and switch to World Breaker removes the effect. So we'll do a destroyer form, just to make it better. Destroyer's Rampage. More damage being dealt here. Increase by 4%, cooldown recharges 50% faster. That's only upon landing. That's not bad. Maybe you want to build on destroyer form, that's cool. But I think you ended up building a little mixture of both forms. Because you got World Breaker form, so you can poke from a distance. Blow your fire, which will be good for any poking situation, World Breaker and Destroyer form. And whenever you need to get your health back, find a safe spot and fly. Now let's try that Arrival of a God, so we're going to do that. Try this one. This one. It won't matter what we get here, because they changed it to E, Skyfall. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like if you want to stay in Sky form, you could just shoot meteors instead. Let's keep it with Cataclysm. I'm gonna go with this one, and Arrival of a God. There's the meteors. Reduce the cooldown. It takes some getting used to because if you don't know what form you're in, then you could end up using this ability when you wanted to lunge. You end up using this one. No matter what, you'll have your fire. That's for sure. Talk about the cooldowns. We take flight, and the E changes to Skyfall meteors. And we'll land in destroyer form, drop some more meteors, drop this, and blow some fire. And then Cataclysm. This dude's a world boss on his own. Now let's test out his merc capabilities and see his death. See how he really looks when he dies. So I would go with this one to heal. His circle's about the size of Butcher. I would have thought they would have given the circle a Phasmodan. Especially for a dragon like him. A good strategy would be is that if you're in a team fight trying to take mercs, or your enemy's trying to take your mercs, that's the perfect time for Deathwing to land in the circle. A lot of people forget that if you want to steal mercs or claim it, you got to get in the circle, no matter what. All right, see how his death looks like. So we're gonna start breathing fire, taking damage. Notice I cannot fly at the moment. See how he looks when he dies. The dragon just falls. So notice that every time Deathwing takes flight, you have to give it 6 seconds before he can actually land. It's not just going to land right away. Who's the real boss around here? Look at that. Man, I bought the virtual ticket, so I can't wait when I have him. He's going to be overplayed live in the servers. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see what his emotes are. Doesn't even need words. It's just a dragon roar. Let's see his dance. He's just shaking. That's it. It's just shaking. It's so funny. Look at that. Yeah, rock on. Just shake it, shake it. That's me breaking it down. Alrighty, well that is Deathwing, everybody. So hope you guys like the video. If you like it, please give it a like and subscribe. And if you don't have the virtual ticket or the BlizzCon ticket, save up your 20,000 gold because Deathwing is worth the buy. He's going to be a lot of fun. Get ready for the tour event coming up in December 16. And if you haven't seen the Hero Spotlight that came out today, or the patch notes, the links will be down in the description down below. This is Quasi over and out. And remember, guys, no matter what you're playing, just have fun with it.